Welcome, geometry students, and today we're talking about dilation. This is the dilation notes, and basically what a dilation is it's a reduction or an enlargement. Now, basically what that means is we're either shrinking or growing, alright? So if it was a reduction, we'd begin at my prime image and dilate onto my smaller image. Alright, and that would be a reduction. And if we were going the opposite way from the smaller image onto the bigger one, that would be my enlargement. Alright, so it's taking a shape and making it bigger or smaller based on a center. Now, the center here, the center of our dilation is center O. And the center's created where it's kind of like a spectrum. Alright, it's our straight lines that would hit all our vertices of our triangles in this case. Okay, so the center is where the dilation originates. Now, that's kind of a summary of what it is. Now let's see what we're going to do with it. Okay, what is the center of dilation? Before we get started, let's go ahead and label all our points so that we can answer these questions. So I'm going to call this point C, call this point P, and we're going to call this P prime. We're going to say this is 2, and this piece is 5. Alright, so identify the dilation and find the scale factor. So, here, part A asks, what is the center of the dilation? Well, we see it's where it originates, so we're going to call that point C. Or you can also say that the center of dilation is at the origin, alright, at 0, 0, comma 0. Whenever you have that grid, we can identify that as the origin. Now, to talk about scale factor, it's typically with ratios, and what is the scale factor of the image to the original figure? Now this is very, very, very important. The image to the original figure. You have to stay in that order. Alright, well, let's decide which one's the image and which one's the original figure. Typically, prime is going to be the image. Okay, and the original figure is going to be the regular points. Alright, so our original figure is CP, and our image is CP prime. Alright, you see that? So you name it from the center all the way to the point. So our original is the center to here, and then our image is the center all the way to the end. Alright, so the scale factor has to go in that order. Well, the length of CP is prime is 5. Alright, and the CP is 2, so we get 5 to 2 as our scale factor. Now you have to be very careful how you name it. It always has to follow the order in which it's given to you. If you don't, it's wrong. Alright. Okay, for the final example, it says draw a dilation of rectangle ABCD with A, B, C, D. The coordinates are given. Use the origin as the center and use the scale factor of 1/2. So we're going to do a scale factor of 1 to 2. Alright, so let's draw our new shape, or I'm sorry, our beginning shape. So A is 2, 2. Haha, I said 2, 2. Okay, B is 6, 2. C is 6, 4. And D is 2, 4. So this is my rectangle here. And now we're going to do our scale factor. Now, we know our scale factor is 1 to 2. Alright, and sometimes you're going to see it in a different notation. And let's talk about this coordinate notation sometimes here. And then we'll go back up and finish it. Coordinate notation sometimes, it's 1 to 2, so we're going to go half on x, half on y. Alright, so you take the scale factor to both coordinates. And that's how we find our other point. Okay, we find it by saying, alright, we know it's 1/2, so half of x and half of y. Well, half of 2 is 2. Half of 2 is 1. Half of the y coordinate 2 is 1. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 2 is 1. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 4 is 2. Half of 2 is 1. Half of 4 is 2. Now what we're going to do is plot these points. So we have 1, 1. That's going to be my A prime. We have 3, 1. That's going to be my B prime. 3, 2 is my C, and 1, 2 is my D. Alright, so what we did is we pretty much cut the shape in half, And we stayed with our idea of our origin at the center here, if you want to draw your little lines to make sure the spectrum matches up. So we took it and we shrunk it by a half. That's why our scale factor is 1 to 2. Again, in this order, if we're talking about scale factor, in this case, it'd be original to small. Alright, so that was a reduction. So we apply a dilation of 1/2, and that's it. Enjoy.